Right there. I don't think they're on. Mine's on. Yeah.
Stand up.
What's that?
Stand up.
Testing 1, 2. Oh, great. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Think about ready to get started.
Yeah, please do.
No, you're starting.
All right, everybody. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? Yeah, I want to imagine you've been here throughout the morning, engaging in many of the very, very exciting workshops that we enjoyed. And who's just got in like for the afternoon session? Oh wow. Okay. We'll try to figure out what we can share with you from earlier today, because we've been attending some of these sessions, and our session is going to be a long one. It's 90 minutes, but we promise it's going to be action-packed. We're going to be bringing in some of the things and the tools that people mentioned from the previous sessions, and actually putting you to some work, okay? So if you've got laptops, you're doing the right thing right now, bring it out, because we're going to have some exercises for you. But before we jump into all of that, we're going to introduce ourselves. Please, Maria, if you want to start.
Think you're first.
Well, it appears my picture is first on screen. You can see them on that side and the other. So my name is Alexander Salo. As you might have noticed from what I'm putting on, I'm from Nigeria. Okay, and Nigeria is the crowd. Wow, this is the first time I've seen less than 50% of people in the crowd from Nigeria. All right. Yes, well, that's where I was born and raised. I now live in the Bay Area in California. What I know about artificial intelligence comes from my time at NVIDIA. You might be familiar with NVIDIA, those of you who like to buy stocks. You might be pretty familiar with it. I spent time there helping start the AI division for cloud. So it was a pretty special position where I got to learn what the very first thousands of companies across the world were thinking about doing with artificial intelligence even before 2020. That's where I spent most of my time, but I very quickly realized that it was starting off in very small spaces across the world, and myself and several other people decided to think that it was important to think about democratizing access to these tools, first for people to use them, and then for people to actually build them. Build them from Atlanta, build them from Oakland, build them for the rest of the global south. So that's where I come from. And my partner here is Maria, please.
Thank you. You can move the slide. Hey everyone, my name is Maria Laws, and I'm coming to you from Oakland, California, and I'm coming from a very different background. I started as a teacher, teaching high school science and dance, and then I moved up to UC Berkeley, where I was a professor teaching engineering majors about best practices in education. And I also got to do some workforce development at places like Genentech, Lockheed Martin, and a few other spots like SF MoMA, the Museum of Art, as well as some other places. And what I was really excited about joining our team with Alex and the rest of our group, thinking about tech and what it can do for everyone, everywhere, and our role in it. I was really interested in the global impact, and I was thinking a lot about how we need to build a team of AI, a community of AI leaders, people that can question, that can critique, and then create the tools that they need and want for themselves, for their community, for their families. And so that's why I moved out of my very happy stage in the classroom into AI, which has been very exciting, because I really do think this is our chance to level the playing field and to move ahead. And I'm really excited to be here with you to share some ideas. And let's think about what's possible for you and for us.
Yeah. Ahura AI, that's what we're called, by the way, and we're about positioning the workforce to thrive in the age of AI. Said differently, we're the learners company. We're the learners company. We think about the workforce, we think about people as learners, and figuring out what do you need to keep up with this incredible pace of change that's happening with AI. Every week you wake up, there's yet another tool, if not 100, that are getting launched, or existing tools that are providing updates. What do you need to keep up with that? Maybe it's recommendations of what those tools are. Maybe it's prioritization. of what those tools are based on your role. Maybe it's providing you with your own personal AI coach, which I'll talk about later. But that's our mission. That's why we're in the world. And we have had the privilege of working with some incredible organizations across the world, from Salesforce, working with their salespeople in San Francisco, to an exciting project you did in Zimbabwe. We do. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
I totally do.
Yeah.
Probably the most favorite thing I've done so far, because always my focus, as great as tech is, great as business is, my focus is always on the learner. That's what I'm interested in. Learning is leading, learning is powerful, and I know that learning is identity work. So this is what interests me. And this amazing group of women that all have their own agribusinesses. So maybe they have a farm, maybe they're raising animals, whatever they're doing, they're creating products that they're selling as a business. And agriculture does make up one of the top 5 industries across many countries in Africa, including Zimbabwe. So they were wanting to see, how can AI help them with their agribusinesses? Whether it be, can it help me figure out a better way of tilling the soil? What is the weather going to be like? Are there going to be floods coming up? What's happening with, if I show a picture of this plant leaf, can I figure out if it's healthy? What's wrong with it? And then we also expanded out, like maybe there's some marketing tools that could help. So we really have done a lot of work every week, sharing new ideas for them on our WhatsApp channel. And then we're also partnering with an AI data company called Amini AI out of Kenya, because what we realize is something that we'll talk about today. AI is only as good as the data that you have. And so if there's been no data sets from your area or for your use case, you're limited in what you can do. And so Amini is actually partnering with us to create a special data set just for these farmers. So yes, it's a group of 70 women right now in Zimbabwe. This will have impact in their communities that is significant and immediate, but it's also something we can think about replicating across other countries. I literally get goosebumps thinking about how this small domino is going to just break down the wall.
It's phenomenal, honestly. Well, today is going to be your opportunity. You've already heard about a few tools earlier. Today, you're going to play with those tools. And we want you to do more than play with those tools. We're actually going to have a raffle at the end of our presentation today, where we're going to, I think we're looking to provide you, a lot of these tools are free, but we're looking to provide you with a small little $50 check for 2 people to pay for one of these tools, right? Earlier on today, we just decided to do this because earlier on, people were talking about how many tools should you pay for and should you pay for them? You can use the free ones, but some of them are super awesome when you pay the $20, right? And so with the $60, you can pay for 3 of those tools, and instantly you're gonna, if I only ask, how many people in the room have personal assistants? Human assistants, you have one. Wow, I don't. I really stop. Yes. Well, after today, you're all going to have personal assistants. Yes, it's an AI, but it's going to be as impactful, if not even, unfortunately, more. So the way to join that raffle is, there's a post, you probably see it. It's on our Instagram page. Find it, you can take a picture of it so you can find it. And all we ask of you is make a comment of what your favorite tool from today is, okay? And share why you like that tool, or anything else you want to post, right? About what you've learned and what you commit to doing with AI going forward after today. And towards the end of this, we'll select someone from the comments. All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get AI ready, okay? Let's get AI ready. And we're going to be starting with a question that I love to ask. It's, how many new Gen AI tools do you use daily? I say new because new company, not Microsoft or Google, we know who they are. Outside of those ones, I want to know how many tools you guys use daily. So if you use at least one tool outside of these, may I please see your hands? All right. Cool. The people who didn't raise up their hand, I'm sorry, you might have to leave. Don't worry about it. 2 tools. Which people use at least 2 tools? Okay. Anyone up to 5? He was about to raise his hand. Sounds like 4. Can you tell us what 4? Yeah. That's super awesome. You use FYI. Are you in the music space?
No, so actually, it's a.
That's super awesome. Really cool, really cool. And if you're not familiar with FYI Labs, I want to believe it's founded by Will.i.am. And it's actually the very first location where Make Wakanda Real was hosted. That was, I think, in November last year. That's where it happened. And it's awesome to hear that you're interning with them. So that's very cool. But everyone, not to worry. By the end of this, we need to get to 5. Because at 5, that's when we say you are AI ready, okay? You're all gonna be AI ready by the end of this. Because it leads to amazing things, right? What happens to your workforce? What happens to your team if 100% of them are using AI tools every day? It's truly phenomenal. The first statement here says that your team is able to accomplish tasks that would ordinarily take 2 to 3 teams with 2 to 3 times their size to accomplish. They start doing things like the speaker on stage earlier here today talked about creating websites in 5 minutes, right? Being able to create a website in 5 minutes. It became standard. Like before now, building a website used to be a thing of procrastination. Like you're about to start your new business. People talk about creating their websites and you show up to them 2 months later, they're still talking about creating their website. Now you can just get it done in a matter of 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to show you how to do things like those. And you find out that what our second statement here says that your low performers, or as she likes to call them, your emerging performers, they could be people who just literally came out of college. So they are emerging performers. They start to perform like the high performers in your team. That's how you upgrade your team together when you expose them to the right tools. It's pretty similar to, you can imagine what happened to math classes the first time they brought in the calculator. It wasn't then just the people who could do math in their heads, but everyone else can calculate and be math geniuses. So with that, let me see.
Yeah.
I'll pass this on to you. Yeah.
I do want to talk a little bit more about this, about even now, the most basic tool that most of us probably know the name of Chat GPT or Chat. You're on first name basis with that. So there you go. It's called Chat. The kinds of outcomes we're seeing, even at the beginning, before folks are going to be where we know they're going to be in terms of prompt generation. If you look at the slide here, it's telling us that your team, or you, however you want to frame it, is going to see a difference in, do you get tasks completed? How good are the work that you do, and how fast is it? I mean, this is like really dramatic. And then as you keep looking down a little bit further, the kind of thing that Alex was talking about, everyone on your team benefits. Your emerging performance is teacher language, right? I also think about it, not only folks that are new or inexperienced, but also perhaps they're working across multiple languages. This is an equalizer. This allows them to have gains, and even your top performers are better. There isn't anyone who can't see a benefit from trying out these tools. And kind of thinking about the next space of it, I was really struck by some of the comments earlier today. And I put together some of the stats that you'll see on the board here, on the slides here for you, that there's so many things that we're already seeing around statistics that tell us that AI is having an impact on people, on employers, not just in terms of what they're expecting from their new hires. It's also about the return of investment they're getting on any money they spend to get their team ready. So I don't know if, Alex, you've got a favorite stat on here you want to call out.
Getting a job. Getting a job is key. Everyone's trying to get a job. And don't worry, we'll be helping you out with that later. It says experience with AI is now a key hiring criteria. Okay. It's a key hiring criteria for employers across all industries and company sizes. Well, I'm sorry to apologize, but I'm kind of one of those. I barely hire anymore if you come to the interview and you can't show me how to use AI tools. You're basically not going to be as productive as everyone else on the team.
And I think my favorite statistic, as you probably know, is the one about education, what the implications for us as parents and as teachers, right? That we need to get our learners ready. It's not enough for them to figure it out the way we are right now. We need to get them ready so they can leverage that as they move forward. And so that's going to be something that is going to be, if you are a parent in the room, start asking questions at your school to invite those conversations about how that team is thinking about what they're going to do. That's another kind of project we've been working on to help schools develop a strategy so that it's safe and effective and also helpful to students.
Perfect. We're back at that. Great, we're back. It's recording the screen.
That's great.
So you can bring that back when you want.
Um,
Although this time is
yeah, we do.
3:30 is when I end.
Yeah, okay, well, probably 3/4 to sort of. Okay, sounds good. Okay, sounds good. Let's get going. So maybe about another minute. I know it's not that time. We've got a lot of tools. All right, so maybe we can come back to center. I know it's just a tease, but now you know what's there and you can go back to it. Before we move on for resumes, I'm gonna hand it over to Alex, but I do want to also share one other thing. I don't know how you're gonna feel about it, but I want to tell you about it, which is AI headshots. Headshots are very expensive, and so they can be a barrier for a lot of folks, particularly emerging professionals. So AI headshots, the quality is quite a range. I found one that I think is the best. They are very highly rated for particularly attending to a variety of skin tones with their algorithm, which I found to be very important in terms of access and equitable value. And also, just in general, it's called Secta AI, just so you know. Even if you don't use Secta, it's fairly decently priced and the quality is very good. This is how you know if your tool's gonna be good or not. If they ask you for 3 to 5 photos, that is not gonna be good. I don't know who's gonna look like, but it's not gonna be you. This one asks for 20 photos minimum, and they actually grade each photo and tell you if it's gonna be good or not. You can change backgrounds, you can change clothes, but generally speaking, it's really high quality. All right.
Yes, and when these tools started being put out, they used to be, I don't even know how to describe this. Let's just say if you asked it to create a picture of an Asian woman, it didn't get that exactly right. Neither did it get one was right, it would be. But there's been so much improvements to these tools. And as we continue to engage and educate the companies that build them and get them to a place where they're doing much better. So if you did see the flyers for this very event. I don't know if you saw the flyers and you saw the pictures that were used on that flyer. Did anybody see that? I don't think the way they said it was you could see it. You saw it, maybe a few other people see it. So well, if you pull up the pictures that were used for the flyer for this event, those are actually AI generated.
Those rated.
Oh, not this one. So this one, probably, yeah, because this was the cartoons. But the ones that actually showed her face and my face, they're not actually us. Those are our pictures. I don't know that sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even the ones here on this slide deck were AI. I feel weird saying that now, but we really did want to try the tools to see how and where they need to be better. And these were pretty good. This one's a good one.
Yeah, it's incredible.
All right, Alex, I'm going to hand it over to you to talk a little bit about websites and presentations.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I talked about websites early on. That's one of very big things for people who are looking to go digital, looking to start a business. Building websites, very, very important, but at the same time can be pretty challenging. There are several tools that help you with this, but the one that we love so far is called gamma.ai, right? Let me show you here. We actually even have if you wanted to pull up Gamma, you can scan that code and get access to Gamma. Trust me, it's incredible. This actually, I don't know if I told you, it's my favorite tool. I shouldn't say that. You guys are supposed to be commenting on the IG with your favorite tools. Maybe don't use Gamma, use something else. Yes, but Gamma is amazing. I think it's giving me superpowers. I'm literally running to the airport, 5 minutes prior, I'm typing bullet points of what I need. I get it's first draft, like 10 slides. I pull them up, get on the plane, make changes, I come off, and I'm ready to present. Okay, like superpower. This is what this tool is helping me do. This other superpower here is about websites. And so if I came here, I think you know where it is.
Yeah, you're going to go here and you're going to create AI and do your thing.
Fantastic. So this is what it looks like. If you scan that code and you open it up, it looks like this. You can then tell it that you want to create something new. You can paste in text And eventually we'll ask you to select between presentation or website, which I will do. So right now, in terms of creating a website, I think I want to continue from the resume piece that you did. So you got Teal to help you build a resume. Do we have text from that? Or maybe from ChatGPT that we can copy and paste in here?
Sure. Oh, yeah, I did this to build the website.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, here you go.
So what I'm trying to do is like combine the AI tools, right? We just use Teal to improve your resume. You can then definitely, I mean, does anybody here have a personal webpage? I would think less than 10% of people have a personal webpage. Who's got a personal webpage? Yeah, you got one in the back. Okay, that wasn't 10%, that's like 1%. Did you have a comment? Okay, yes. Well, you should all have a website, a personal website. What's your name? Yourname.com. And you can do it now. So what she did is she just pasted her resume on this page, and she's gonna click on, I'm gonna click on website. I'm gonna hit generate. You can already guess what's gonna happen. Well, first and foremost, you can come here and make some edits on the side on how you want the language output to be, playful versus serious and professional. You can make all those tweaks, but once you're happy with what's been selected there, you can, I'll click continue here. Next thing it asks me to do is to select the theme of what the page should look like. I will just select this one with so it matches what she's wearing. It's really gonna be about her. And let's say generate. Yeah, you can guess what's gonna happen. It's magic.
What is the website?
Yes, it's called Gamma.ai, but I think more effective to scan. Where do we go? Here we go. This one. Are you able to scan?
Yeah.
Is that the thing?
No, we're gonna have 3 codes to scan today. Yes, otherwise, if you're not able to scan, I'll get it to you after this. Yes. So I'm gonna click back into here and voila. Look at that. Okay, so what does it say about Maria?
You should publish it too. Yeah, you can make.
Eventually, yeah. So Maria Laws is an award-winning educator. She's right here. And designer with experience in curriculum design. I hear, wow, that's great. Professional experience, education leadership, ID, leadership development, expertise, all of that stuff. Ahura AI made its way into the page. I'm glad. High school, that was a high school you were at?
One of them, yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Awards and recognition. If you want to connect with Maria Laws, that's her contact detail. I said 10 minutes. That wasn't 10 minutes. That was not so short in 10 minutes. You should do this.
You generate one, I know there's.
Teal, so that was TEAL, Teal HQ, was to help you create a resume. But even without that, ChatGPT helps you create or improve a resume you have. But you know what's even crazier? You don't even need all of that. You just need to type in bullet points. Like, okay, who am I, Alexander? 5 bullet points about me, blah, blah, blah. You put it into Gamma, it generates.
That's what I'm talking about in Gamma, like I'm on that page, it says paste in text, generate.
Yes.
Yeah.
What did you start with?
So you click on the first one, which is pasting text, and then later on you can play with the other 2 options and see if you like them as well. Yeah. All right, yeah, please.
There was no prompt ahead of your resume, you just dropped your resume down in there and it's still.
Yeah, you can, but as Alex said, you also don't have to. You could actually take something off your LinkedIn. You could just write some notes yourself. They don't have to be very formal. That's what's so great about AI. It's like a conversation. And then when you see what it gives you, you can go, okay, actually, this will say, do you like it? Do you want to go back? Or you can actually edit it from there. But the templates are really beautiful. Those are also customizable. You can do all kinds of different things with it once you play a little bit more. But even the basic is great.
Yeah, I'm gonna take some questions for you in one moment. But with what you were saying, I literally done this like 3 times now. Like I'm pumping out companies every week with this stuff. So it creates it, and You can publish it directly to a hosted link that Gamma provides you. But you might decide you're too techy and you don't want, it doesn't look so pretty. You want to do something else. You know how to go buy a domain. So you do that, and all you just need to do is download this as a PowerPoint and you give it to someone who's going to do the actual development, but with this code, right? Like with this design, this used to take you weeks, and because it took you weeks, you would wait months because you didn't want to do it. Now it's done, okay? And then you can get someone else to do it. That part can also be a slowdown. What I do is I go on Fiverr or any application that gets you freelance people. And literally it was like $100, it was actually less, to get a Fiverr person. I just gave him a PowerPoint of this. And I paid for 1 day, it was $10. The next day it was ready. I was getting on a plane. I was like, okay, I need to create a company. Yeah, I did this. I paid the Fiverr guy. I got off. I had my website, and I walked into the place, and I was like, "All right, here's what we're doing." It's incredible. So let's see. You want a pub? You want to have a page?
Well, I do want you to see it's not just a slide deck. You can actually publish it straight from here.
Yeah. So I just
Yeah.
click the publish button, and here we go.
So that's a link you can then create into a Bitly or whatever you want to actually, if you didn't want to go that step further with Fiverr person or WordPress, whatever else you want to do. But it's so versatile. This tool is, I've used it so much now, they've asked me to be a GAM ambassador. I have some swag waiting for me at home. I don't know what it's going to be, but I can't wait to wear it. I'm just spending way too much time on this pink site over here, but it's just really useful for our team.
Yes, no, it's phenomenal. And like I said, if you want to get access to it, that's the QR code, get access to Gamma. The other thing you can do is a slide deck, right? If you remember earlier on, there was a point where you asked me to select between website and presentation. You select presentation and you get a presentation. And so with that one, I was going to show you, but I think it's fine. I was going to do a pitch deck because that's the next thing, right? First, you start with your resume, then you need to get a website, and then investors are asking you to do a pitch deck. You're like, give me a second, I'm back in 3 months. Now you'll be back in 10 minutes, okay? You go back in 10 minutes. Just get on Gamma, tell them what your ideas are. And by the way, never take like what it's done as a complete piece of work, okay? Like this is getting you 70–80% there, eliminating procrastination. You need to read what it's written, because you will want to change a few sentences and make them more suitable to what you want, right? But it helps you get through like the biggest parts of the hump. So switching up from there is social media marketing. That's Maria.
I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, because I know we've got some good things coming up with the LLMs that I want us to do in our time together. But I definitely want to check in with about a few things, to all of our content creators here. There are two particular tools. I'm just going to show you their websites and talk a little bit about the difference between them. The thing about a lot of tools, you'll see, I think one of the reasons why folks get a little bit overwhelmed is that there's so many tools and you don't know what's better or worse. Ask chat is what I would tell you to do, or ask us as a secondary, chat first. But then the other part to it is some is going to just be your personal preference, and of course things around pricing. So both of these kinds of tools are where you can take a longer video and it will actually clip it for you into much smaller amounts so that you can easily post it onto social media. And there are two sort of winners here of the ones that we've tried. And one is called Munch. And then the other one is called Opus Clip AI. So I'm going to just show you their screens so you can see them. One's called Munch, and I think Get Munch is when how you'll find it. Munch AI will also get you there. And then the other one's called Opus Clip. So let me just show them to you first, and then we'll take any questions you might have. So for Munch is one that is definitely a paid version. They give you one video as sort of like your freebie to try. So I uploaded a particular panel that my our CEO, Brian, was on.
I want you guys to get it. This is where that raffle comes in. Did folks find the Instagram post? Yeah, you should do that. We're gonna do a raffle at the end. And then you can put some of the cash towards paying for this. I'm paying for it, and I think of it as, if I needed to do this, I would need to pay someone a couple $1,000 a month. on the team.
Mhm.
But now I just pay this, I think it's about $200 a month.
Yeah. So what's really great about this is that when I started, I can't go back and show you because it's my demo one, but when I started, it asked me, is there a particular social media platform that we should be optimizing for? So if you want to pick Instagram or Facebook, it'll actually change its wording to match the algorithm. Because as you know, if any of you post frequently on social media and are looking at your follows and your likes, they have very different ways that they're deciding where you get to be on the queue. So this is sort of a one great thing about Munch. Also, too, what I love is it'll give you a score about how likely it is to go viral, and just how relevant the topic is in that particular amount of time. I just let it run to 60-second clips, but you can make it a minute and a half or 15 seconds or 30 seconds. It's quite customizable. And this is the part that makes it really great if you are thinking about becoming a content creator on the next level, which is for most other tools, you have to download it and then upload it on 2 clicks to your social media. This will go directly to your social media, which is amazing. The one thing they're working on that is still in beta is that you can't schedule ahead for it to upload, but you can schedule on their calendar to remind you that you're going to come back to that clip and post it yourself. But again, it's pretty quick to get there. And as Alex mentioned, particularly if this is an area where you think that might be a money sort of source for you as a second job or something that you're really passionate about, this saves you a lot of time on tasks that are just very time consuming and therefore expensive. If I can, the one that I would contrast to, and I just want to show you the difference, and I think of the difference again, kind of like what we said with Teal versus Chat. One gives you kind of a number, really a little snapshot about how good your quality of content is, and the other gives you a more explanation to help you as a learner so you can do better the next time you're creating content. And that's going to be Opus Clip. And so what I did was I uploaded a 15-minute talk of Alex during an event we were in during January at World Economic Forum. And you'll see it's also giving a score. Great job on that, 99. Excellent work there. Yeah.
It's gonna go viral?
Well, yeah, it's telling you, then, and then it gives you a breakdown. It's like a little report card. So you know I'm all about this. This speaks my language. The hook, the flow, the engagement, and the trend. So it'll tell you that in real time, how your particular clip is measuring up. And also too gives you some of these things, obviously the trend is one thing, but thinking about the hook and the flow, those are things that you can plan for as a speaker and keep it in your mind as these are reminders. So this is something I really like about this tool, is that it's sort of a qualitative approach, and there's a little bit more of a free space for you to upload things and work with it, as opposed to Munch to get to the paid part much faster. All right.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Well, I think I am going to scroll back here and give folks an opportunity to.
Or do you want to do it?
I want to show the post because folks can get a chance to find it.
Great.
So with this, what you do is you go on Instagram. If you still have an IG account, I hear there's other ones that people like to use these days, but Instagram, and you just search for Ahura.ai, you'll find the post. And all you have to do is comment and tell us which ones your best tools are. It helps us out. We're trying to learn what tools people are tallying up, and it's going to feed into a survey that we're running. And in exchange for your vote towards the tool, we'll do a raffle at the end of this. As we scroll to the next slide, I think I saw comments there.
Yeah, so most people don't know this. I don't know if you want to go on to it. So there's this tool called AIValley.ai. If you want to look it up, it gives you all the tools that's the current AI like applications are. So it includes Gamma, includes the two that you guys were talking about.
That's very cool. AI Valley.
Type in AI. Also another tab.
What you're saying,
I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you, sorry, I was just grabbing something. Go ahead with what you want.
yeah,
Can't
so
hear it.
open that, so type AI Valley,
Yeah.
that one, Okay, I think we saw it some time back. Do you read
Yeah.
that?
That's a really great reminder. Thank you. Is that AI Valley is actually also a newsletter as well as someone that posts a lot on Twitter. I think his name is Farsi, but I'm not sure. There are a couple like AI influencer folks that will give you weekly updates about the newest tools. So thank you for sharing that.
Is this what you're referring to?
Yeah.
Amazing, very, very cool.
Very cool. That's actually where I do a lot of my research and we talk about as well. Thanks for a reminder. There are a couple, like 3 or 4 that are really great. Cool. All right. Great, great. All right. Going back to our thing, we had one other social media thing we thought we should share with you that I'm betting a lot of you, again, if you're looking at your social media, there are so many things to do with CapCut. Has anyone used CapCut before? Oh, yeah. So I'm sure there's some folks here that know much more than I do. I was primarily interested in the AI segment. So CapCut, again, is one of those free things. I use it for a lot of other reasons, video editing, adding subtitles and all closed captions and all kinds of stuff. But if you go to CapCut, I'm going to just show you one very simple thing using AI. And so I'm going to go ahead over to image, and I'm going to do let's see if I can find what I want. Image, I'm going to go to marketing and I'm going to make a flyer. So when I click on it, it's going to give you this little page right here. But do you all see on the side, it says text to design and try. That's where the AI segment is. So I'm going to give it a prompt about a flyer that I want to make. And I'm going to give it a picture that I decided I wanted. And then it's going to give me some templates similar to kind of how Gamma
I
does.
literally struggle with this a lot, making flyers. I mean, does anyone else need to make flyers for anything? Yeah, it's clubs, in school. Yeah, he always wants to make a flyer.
Yeah.
When I saw hands, maybe the hands went up for flyers, but if you have any question, please let us know.
So I'm going to go hit try. And again, I've already tested out this prompt for y'all, so I'm going to just click it in here. And if we read it, it's like, I am getting ready to do a master class about AI tools, and I'm looking for a flyer about it. I'm also going to add an image. Now, you can do web searches. You can ask for it to generate one, but I've already picked one ahead of time, and I've kept it in my little home page. So I'm going to press from space. And I can see a couple things here. I think I'm going to use this one. Wasn't what I used before, but yeah, we'll use that one. Okay, great. And so now let's see what I'm going to do. Business for, I think that's fine.
Is it free or paid?
This is all free. I don't pay anything for CapCut. CapCut's amazing if you really want to get into some like templates, both for videos as well, some really cool frames, some animations with pictures that like morph into other pictures. Very good. Now they're giving me a bunch of options. And so let's see. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay, that's not a bad first draft. Am I right? Obviously, I need to put the date. I need to make that centered. I might want to change some things, but you can change anything from here. But this has already got me a lot further. I see one you like, this one right here. Let's try it. Ooh, what do y'all think? I like it. Oh my goodness, why didn't we use this part?
No, like literally, I'm gonna jump on this, like,
Yeah.
I need this. Yeah.
This is one of my favorite tools for quick generation, because you know, the parts that take you so much time are all those little elements. They're giving you a thing, and even if you don't like it, you have a good idea already now what you'd want instead. You're not designing from nothing. This is very helpful for those of us that might be new to this sort of creative space, helping you with color schemes, understanding how font has emotion, like you're starting to see it in real time. This is gonna help you.
I really wish Canva could do this. I've been trying to use Canva to do this. Maybe they improve all the time too. It's like almost like every week or every 2 weeks they provide an update. But this is amazing, and I've been trying to do this with Canva.
All right, y'all like, do you like CapCut? Yeah, please know there's so much more, but it's very intuitive. So it's just really about you getting in there, putting aside 20 minutes and just like experimenting. Really, that AI Explorer that mindset's gonna get you really far. This is definitely not a skill set of mine when I started, and now I'm feeling very comfortable. So there you go. All right, I think we want to move on to another space. So let me just move a few things out of the way here. Yeah, here we go. The thing that we wanted to talk about next is about LLMs. And LLM stands for the large language models. So think ChatGPT, think Gemini. Anybody using Gemini when they're doing, oh, excellent. Alex, that's your friend right there. He loves Gemini. And there are many others as well. So we want to do two things to kind of show you how you might want to use it. I'll do one and Alice is going to do the other. So one of the things that I wanted to mention to you is that there are so many. I know that we know Meta AI, that's Facebook one, right? That you can actually get through your WhatsApp. That's what makes it so great for us when we're working with our international clients, because that's a really easy access point for them. And that's important to me, accessibility, right? Gemini and Chat, they're up here as well. But look at all the others here. We've got Perplexity and Claude. We're going to talk a little bit about one of them today.
Yeah, I think I know someone in the crowd whose favorite is Perplexity.
Yeah, Perplexity is, a big fan. Teachers love Perplexity. So let's talk for a minute about this, because I have seen people on our team get into like not real fights because we're on Zoom, fights over why theirs is better than the other ones. It's not really about that. It's really about how you're using it and what you're using it for. And I want to give you an example. I decided what I thought might be a good thing for us to look at is I took a single prompt that I needed, and I did it across three of them, Gemini, Claude, and OpenAI, and I compared their answers. And I would suggest to you, this is a good thing for you to try to do, to normalize for yourself, like which is the best for your use case. So Alex and I use these for very different reasons. And therefore we have different preferences. So just a little backstory, the prompt that I have for this one, because of my Zimbabwe project, I was invited to speak at an Africa Day event last month. And I realized that I had very little knowledge of what Africa Day represents. It was definitely not something I learned about in school. I'm still a little mad about that, but now's my chance to fix the problem. And so what I did is I went ahead and I put it into all three spaces. So I wrote down, tell me the history and origin of Africa Day. And I did that across all three. So I did it here on Gemini. I did it again here on Claude. There's my answer. And I did it again here on ChatGPT. But I'm going to go back to my slide deck to show it to you. This is what I realized amongst the three. Gemini gave me the bullet points of dates, and sequence of history. It happened this date. It was this, government organization that did it, and it was for this reason. Very short, succinct, and very specific around the dates and the governmental orgs. When I went to Claude, it gave me a little bit more context. It gave me the name of a person to honor them, which already, again, learning-centered, people-centered, I already like that better. They gave me a name of someone we could lift up in our community that started this. And it gave me a little bit more about how it's celebrated today. But then we get to the winner, which I didn't know was going to be the winner for me, which is ChatGPT gave me a much more expansive understanding about not only what it meant when they created the day, but what has come to mean now in contemporary times across many countries and for many purposes. And I found it to be very helpful when I was creating my speech to really understand the nuance and depth. This was my great starting point to then have a conversation with the person that invited me and to think a little bit more deeply about how I could add value. And so this is the kind of test you can do for yourself if you're not sure which one to use for what. So I highly recommend this as an entry point for you into thinking about which large language model do I want to use for this task. And I think I see a hand somewhere, although I'm fairly blind.
This is more of a comment. I do this regularly, but innately we can have our own biases about tools that we were trained on, tools that we learn best, tools that are easiest. Now, there are third-party websites that will gamify this, that will allow you to prompt blindly and choose a response and then tell you the system. That way you're truly doing the test, because you didn't go into it with any preconceived notion about this better, easier. You just put your prompt in and it kick back responses and you selected from that.
That's amazing. Thank you for saying that. And I would also say something that Alex and I are going to talk about later, which is LLMs should never be your ending point. They're a starting point to get you a little more oriented. You absolutely want to go to outside spaces and get more support and your own expertise to move forward with confidence. Thank you.
So this other piece is where Maria decided to play a trick on us. Or was it a trick? It wasn't a trick. So she, as she described, by the way, this is about using large language models as your strategic partner, okay? That's what this is about. So she was coming from the education space, as she shared earlier, over 2 decades in education, coming into a tech startup. That is huge. Round of applause, please. I should say. So, well, according to her, she's not used to negotiating in the business space because she's just learning about that. And do you know what she did when she wanted to get a raise? She came on ChatGPT to role play. Yes, it was incredible, and it worked effectively. It was after it was done, and she got her raise. Should we do another round of applause?
Well, for that, totally helped me with that. I'm just gonna be honest, like, this was very helpful. And I was gonna share a little bit more about what we did.
Yes, I mean, it's pretty small here, but really the point is you can literally go into any of these LLMs and use it as an advisor. It's like, what kind of conversation would you have with your advisor? It's, hey, advisor, I want to get a raise. I think I've been doing a great job for the last year and a half. And my manager is XYZ kind of person, XYZ industry. Can we have a chat about that? And you just go from there. It'll tell you stuff. You respond to what it's saying. You can ask it things like, okay, what's the strategy I should use? If they say this, how do I respond? And you role play. Right. So we're using this example of negotiating a raise, but like folks who are salespeople, that's huge. Like being able to go to a tool like this, give it a website of a company you're about to get on the phone with in 10 minutes, and you ask, what's the CFO of this company likely to say about my company? What's going to be the objections? And can we work together to figure out how I can answer this better? Honestly, these tools make people become rock stars.
So I was gonna say, thinking about my students, both my university students and my high school students, this is an area, and if you all have children at home or your teachers as well, this is an area that they struggle with, right? Like, how do I talk to power? How do I ask for what I need when there's a power differential? How do you negotiate with your parent that you get to go to prom and they got a C in chemistry, you know, if that's an issue? Or like, you know, how do you tell your teacher it's really okay you were late? And so my students have used this to help them shape their language so that they can actually have the conversation they're trying to have, right? They just haven't quite figured out the words themselves. This is also really helpful for folks that are emerging in a particular language that they did not grow up with, right? So our emerging language learners, this is a really helpful tool for them to feel more confident in their competence and to showcase the actual knowledge they have, but they've got that block to access and that they're still learning English or whatever language it is on top of the content.
Yes, that was phenomenal. We're actually going to have you do the similar exercise where you talk to your neighbor, talk about LLMs, but I think we'll just bring it to center here and see if one or two people want to share about if there's any fun or not so typical use case you've worked with ChatGPT or any other LLM that you want to share. Because we all want to learn, right? We use these tools, I think, less than 20% of what they're capable of. So it's helpful to have rooms like this and people sharing about what they use the tools for. So please, over there. That is super cool. And by the way, we're trying to do part of that. So yes, let's talk. So what he shared is it's in, I think it's in programming, and yeah, it's in programming and he does a lot of learning every day. So he shares what he's learned with ChatGPT and asks you to give a summary of what that is, and then you can store it somewhere, which hopefully in the near future will be on Ahura AI. So yes. Awesome. Another one, I think I'll take two. So her first. Yeah.
In healthcare and started a digital health company. So I used it as a use case of creating a company. So I would have to get this using AI to generate the charts, how that. And it created a rich data. And not only that, I need to find out what APIs I needed. So I put in the fire standard APIs and it spit out all APIs I could put through my.
That's phenomenal. What tool did you use to do that? ChatGPT for that as well. Very cool. Yeah, earlier we shared about a similar use case using a tool called Gamma AI. That's great.
Good.
Last comment.
Greetings, like Bryce Washington, a writing software at Product University, and with I that Copilot. To help basically, I use it to help with my scholarship, basically with batch, daily chapter. So I basically use it to help me come up with different ideas, and the general basis of the scholarship was trying to pitch to a company about how we can implement, basically what strategies to implement, environmental friendly ways to help out the community. So I use ChatGPT to explain the community, which was the Frenchtown community with the Tallahassee. So I use that to kind of get like an idea of what community I'm working with certain people. And then I use Copilot to kind of pinpoint like certain gardens or certain pillars within the community, and certain dates about when certain things happen. So that way I can be able to better kind of make a plan to talk to different people within Tallahassee. So we can allow my plan to actually occur.
That's really cool. That's really cool. I hope what this is doing for all of you is expanding your mind. So you know there's more to ChatGPT. Don't be like me. I just use it to figure out resumes for or what do you call it? I basically use it to learn how to cook, basically. That's what I do with it. But there's so much more. So we're going to go through things and we have 5
Yeah,
minutes.
well, okay, I'll do this really quickly.
Mhm.
Okay, all right, I have to share this one. It's a new favorite of mine, and we put it under the framing of learning, but really any of you that need to read a lot of market intelligence, any kind of larger documents, you are going to be in love with Humada. So I'll just show you the homepage and what I did. Oh, shoot, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in. Let's see what I used as my thing. Let's see, learning.
And as she pulls that up, Humana,
Yeah.
I think it's HUMATA. One of the things I've seen it do is you can upload I don't know who's teaching here, who teaches, okay. I bet you need that there's times where you need to read long paragraphs, if not textbooks. And sometimes you actually don't want to read the whole textbook, you just want questions. So you can test it for your class. That could take you quite a bit of time. Yeah, well, this is the tool that can help with that.
Yeah, I'll just show you really quickly so you can really believe how great it is. I uploaded a report about, shocker, AI in the workplace. This is what I think about a lot now. The difference between the paid and the unpaid version is the number of pages of the document you can use. So this is a 17-page document. That's still enough that I would want to use this for. But of course, my hope is to do like a 68-page doc that I didn't, that would be something that you would want to upgrade to paid. And I'm just going to go ahead. You can see it. Here's a PDF. I'm going to go to Ask. And when I go to ask, let me go back for a second. I'm going to go back to here. Yeah, here we go. I'm going to ask it a question. It's going to give me like a couple things. It'll actually give me a summary and you can see it along the side. I'm going to give it a prompt. Tell me the 3 biggest advantages of AI adoption. And let's see what it comes up with. It's going to search the whole document. And it's going to find what I've asked for. And then it's also going to tell me what page number it's on. So I can click on it, it'll highlight it for me and I can go from there. And so that's kind of how it works. It's really amazing, incredible tool.
Phenomenal. All right. So we're coming towards the end today and where we'll welcome everyone else back into this room. We're going to do 2 things here. First one is we are an AI company ourselves, where we don't only talk about tools, but we build tools as well. Our main tool is for learners. We believe every learner should get access to their own personal AI learning assistant. And there are many reasons why we built this. We'll tell you more about it later. But if you want to hear about that, please sign up for our wait list. That's a QR code that can take you there and you get to learn about what we're doing there. The other piece here, because we're going to open things up to the rest of the group to join us for the concluding parts of the session today, I was looking to bring us to our raffle. We made a promise earlier on, and we want to do that. There are some tools that we didn't get to show you today, but at least you did hear of other tools. I hope some people were able to go on the page and make a comment. If you got to do that on Instagram, you just had to search for Ahura.ai, AHU.RA. And I'm going to hit start here and see what people got to do that. Well, it's not clicking, and eventually we might have to do it offline, unfortunately, but we've probably kind of run out of time today. Oh, check it out. All right. Well, this is another AI tool. I'll just show you how I set it up really quickly. I'm going to select the post on IG. You can actually do this, where you can select the post on IG and run a raffle based on the people who made a comment. There's several filters that you can make, but first and foremost, it says, please select cool. So this is called comment picker. So comment, Picker. Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. It's running. All right, we got our two people. Who are these? All right, one in the back there. Which one are you? The first one? All right, great. Who's the second person? Oh, wonderful. Okay, cool. We got our two people. Well, thank you very much, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the time with us. Really appreciate it. And definitely reach out, okay? Definitely reach out to us. As we open up the room, I'll probably just show our email. We do this with companies. We do this with your teams, right? Teams of 5 to 10 people. We'll help them learn about these tools so you can actually get ahead, right? You see what these tools can do. It's not just with you. It should really be with your team. Like you can scan that and tell us what you need to know. But from now, I will end here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Pleasure. Yeah, absolutely. Do you want this computer?